Okay, so if you've come over from the College Planning Minute, you realize that there's a lot of activities that can be taken care of during the summertime. I want to talk about the biggest one first. If you're class of 2020 or you're an emerging senior, then you should be working on essays. If you're looking at the Common App, you got at least 650 words to write there. And I also recommend that you add the colleges and universities that you're seriously considering to see what other writing samples that they may need. Some of them are optional. So if you get an indication that an essay is optional, is it optional? No, you should write. Right. So we'll use another video to talk about how you should put together an essay, but we're talking specifically about the activities surrounded around summertime. So here's the other thing. I know it's a great time to get to the beach, hang out with your friends, travel, go on vacation, relax a little bit, but it's also a really good time to reach out and do community service. Now, sometimes people think of community service as a death sentence. You're in prison, you've got to put in all this time, and it's painful and it's awkward and you really don't want to do it. So here's a really good tip. Find the thing that you're interested in the most and pursue that in your community service. What do I mean by that? Well, if you're an athlete, then my suggestion would be go to the Boys and Girls Club, maybe go to the YMCA, and if you like baseball, try to figure out a way to get involved and help some kids learn about baseball. It's something that you care about. What if they don't have a baseball program? Well, this is where leadership comes into play. Maybe you want to found a program, get other people involved, and help young men and women who are underprivileged or that don't know the sport to learn more about it. What's another example? Well, let's say that you want to go into the medical industry. Well, if you want to go in the medical industry, then maybe beach cleanup isn't the thing that you should be working on. If you want to go into the medical industry, then your community service should be centered around working at a clinic. Maybe you're working inside a doctor's office. Maybe you're working inside a nurse's station. Maybe you're at the hospital. Do you see the continuity? If you're going to go into medicine as a college student or in your career, then your community service should be centered around the activities that you plan on pursuing later in life. Now, is there anything wrong with beach cleanup? No. What we're trying to find is continuity. How do the pieces of your career planning and college planning fit together so that the university knows that you've got an idea of what your future plans are going to be? Well, we talked about community service. Let's talk a little bit more about leadership. Creating clubs, creating opportunities, and standing out in front and being a leader in the community or in some type of a group activity is a huge deal. So if you're the president, you're the founder, you're the vice president, you are involved in directing traffic, if you will, in terms of your activities, that has a higher placement when it comes to your community activities. Now listen, I get it. It's summertime. You want to spend your time hanging out with your friends and your family and getting some really cool stuff done. But here's the thing to think about. If you can put in 25 hours of community service your freshman year, sophomore year, and your junior year, that's 75 hours. We think of 100 hours as a really good target. If you want to be a rock star and you want to show the colleges and universities that you're in charge, I would be seeking to find somewhere close to 200 hours of community service with a lot of leadership opportunities. And remember, the closer it resembles what you're going to study in college or the career that you're going to, the more continuity it has. Let me give you an example. I worked with a young man. He was a freshman in high school. He was interested in getting into the veterinary field. So where did he spend all of his time? At the shelters, at the clinics, anything that has to do with animals. He liked cats, he liked dogs, he did everything and anything. At the end of all of it, he got well over 200 hours of community service, leadership opportunities because he created a way to raise money to help animals that needed assistance. And on top of that, he got on the news. Is that a good use of his time? Absolutely. He ended up going to college, went into the veterinary field, see how all those pieces come together. So let me ask you a question. What are you doing with your time this summer? Well, I hope you'll be using it to write essays if it's that time, getting involved with your community outreach opportunities, and being a leader in your community. This is Ed Sanderson, and this is the College Planning Minute Extended. Talk to you soon.